good. Hi, I'm the real Najee Hampton, and this is Najee Talks. I talk to people about topics that they're passionate about, have them come on the show and discuss the topics under the umbrella of lifestyle. Today we have Jody Richard. Hey Jody.
Hi, Darrell.
You want to talk about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So, as Darrell said, my name is Jody. I am a 26-year-old Compton native, so LA born. Went to Humboldt State University, graduated 2017. I stayed up north for a little bit, been back home in LA for about the last year and a half. And as of now, I work full time at a children's facility. Love children, that's what I got my degree in. Definitely want to change the world for families and babies. But I'm also very passionate about women and strengthening women's relationships with the world around them in all types of different facets, and really just self-development and how it's important to each individual and their life and progress.
That's dope. All right, so you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, first question. So, how do you describe building beauty?
Well, when I say building beauty, I'm really giving, like you said, giving it an umbrella, and talking about just exercising everything. And when I say exercising everything, I'm reflecting on women building up themselves through accomplishing goals and really just being the epitome of who they would love to be, and that making them feel beautiful on the inside, which, as we all know, is any person, not just a woman. It radiates into the outside of you. And I feel like it's very important for women to invest in themselves, and the investment in yourself is that building.
Right.
Is that building process, and strengthening yourself, fortifying yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. You know, and I truly feel like it is a lifestyle. You know, it's definitely not a journey. You know, so there's no beginning and end.
Yeah.
It's something that you do all the time, and just have a mindset.
Okay, so about the mindset.
Yeah.
So, have you always had this mindset of building a beauty?
No, I have not, and I will be blatantly honest and transparent about that. It's definitely been something I've grown into. I think for a lot of women, girls, young ladies, the society that we're just thrown into, it forces us to focus on our outside beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And it not only forces us to focus on it, but it forces us to kind of idolize it and make it kind of the epitome of our esteem. And so the bad thing about that is that, if there is someone that does not agree with your outside appearance, your self-esteem gets a hit. It takes a hit, and like many women know, our outside appearances are always getting hits taken, right?
Right.
Whether it is subliminal or very blatant and out front and verbal. And so not very young, but I would probably say around college. So being a young teen, a late teen, trying to get into my 20s, I feel like I just had a realization, that a lot of people were superficial.
Mm-hmm.
And that not only were they superficial, but I accepted compliments and kind of relished in that superficialness. Until, I just realized one day that it doesn't necessarily make me feel good, and foundate me, right? If there's a day where I don't want to do my makeup, or I don't want to get dressed, right? Or I don't want to adhere to some type of societal standard, my esteem should still be the same place it was when I went to sleep that night before, right?
Yeah.
And I started figuring out, okay, well, what is your self-esteem made of? You know, if it's only made up of compliments, you know, or you only think your self-esteem is awesome, you know, when you are at an A+ with your outside appearance, then your self-esteem is going to be weak. And so that's when I started realizing, okay, what are some things that fortifies my self-esteem or makes me feel strong and empowered? And so I just started tapping into my strengths and working on my strengths and focusing on actually trying to have goals and accomplish them. And that instantly gave me a way different self-esteem boost that I've ever experienced before. And I was like, that's what it is. You know, and it was like, oh, so beauty really is in the eye of the beholder, you know. Of course, everyone has their different cups of tea, so you know that saying, you know, it fits for that as well. Right. But I definitely think when women know that they are beautiful instead of getting validation that they are beautiful, it's a whole different ballgame that you're living in life. Like, you feel differently, and I think it also ties into like the type of relationships we choose to have. When we are confident with something, right? So for example, like if you know you're smart, you wouldn't accept someone telling you like, why would you go to college? You're kind of gonna look at them like, why would I not go to college? Don't say that's dumb. Like don't talk to me like that, right? So it's the same way with your esteem and with your beauty. And so I was in a relationship before where I was just accepting nonsense, like completely blatant nonsense. And you know, I was able to identify with a lot of women and, you know, we're able to talk to them about it being important that you know who you are and why you are who you are. And that's when it became a mindset. That's when it became like, okay, this is how I think, this is how I look at other people, this is how I look at myself. And it was, like I said, it was just really empowering. And I'm like, I can't even look at it a different way now. Like, even when I talk to other women and they're like, no, I can't do that. Like, I don't have the body for that, right? Or they'll be like, I'm not cute enough for that. Or they'll be like, I can't go nowhere. Like, my hair's not done, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're fine how you are. You know, and when you truly own that, everyone else around you has no other option but to own it as well. Right. They have no other option but to accept it. This is what you're giving them. They have to take it or leave it. Yeah. And that's literally how I live my life. You either take it how it is or gotta go. You can go.
Yeah, I mean, it gets like that. You know, like especially though you get the less. It's really a lot harder to have, you know, friends, especially like girl friends. The circle gets so much smaller.
Yes, yeah, true.
But the thing is, it's like one thing you gotta realize is when it comes to these friendships that you have, that really is based originally on your self-esteem in general, first off, because it's like all on like how you love yourself first. Because even with, you know, because you were talking about how you were like in certain relationships that weren't good. Yeah. So the thing, you can still be in friendships like that, you know?
True.
And you can keep letting your friends treat you a certain way, and that's all because you don't have that right love for yourself. Because the thing is, it's like once you have like friends that don't treat you like you want to be treated, but you know that you're gonna leave. Yeah. Then you do. You do.
Yeah. You genuinely exercise that True. And it's funny, I was literally just yesterday at the gym, and I'm in the sauna talking to some women, and they're telling me about a friend they had that's just not terrible, but really needs an attitude check. Like, she needs somebody to tell her, like, baby girl, this is not how you develop friendships. Right. And, you know, both of them were just kind of having a hard time coming to terms with telling her. Yeah. And in my mind, it's one of those things where, like, how many friends do you really have? You know what I mean? Are you afraid to lose this friend? Because once again, you know, I feel like there's two ends of the spectrum, right? You can be that friend where you're like not wanting to be honest with your friends because you're afraid to lose them. Yeah. But then I'm asking you, like, well, what is a friend really? You know, because that couldn't be with a friend who's like living, for example, it's like when I have friends around me with low self-esteem. You're not gonna be around me with low self-esteem. I'm gonna pick that self-esteem up. We're picking it up, girl. I don't care. Every time you say something, I'm like, empowerment. Uplifting, okay? With no negative energy. Because what I know is just, it starts in the mind. Yeah. It starts with the stories we tell ourselves. And if you tell yourself long enough that you're not good enough for something, That's what it is. Like, that's the narrative. You're gonna live up to that, you know. And they were just like, yeah, I kind of don't want to tell her, and you know, I think I might tell her off, and all these other excuses. And I was just like, yeah, but at the end of the day, how, like, are you guys truly being friends? Because she has terrible behavior, and you hang out with her, and you deal with her, and you go on trips with her, and then you leave, and you talk about her. Yeah. So like, on your end too, just to clear your conscience, you should want to tell her. So you don't have to talk about it later, because you definitely gonna talk about it, you know. But then, you know.
But then the thing is, it's like with those, there are people that stick with relationships because they need the person, and there's something about them that they're like, well, I had a relationship, and it was like she was depressed, so I had to leave, right? But so the thing is, one of my roommates was like, why haven't you left yet? And then my only reason was that I needed her for something.
What did you need her for?
We were gonna be situating a way for me to drive her car for me to start going to the like school and stuff, whatever. Okay. So that was the only reason though. That's what needed her around. I thought like if I cut it off, I would get that opportunity.
Okay. Well, I mean, it gets a little tricky because you know. Relationships can be they can turn very like mechanical, you know, where it's like you actually serve like a whole purpose. Like, of course you're here for my emotional wellness and, you know, goodness, you know, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I definitely feel like there are some people, you know, in relationships too, like they don't really understand the idea of codependency, you know, and sometimes it can be like, for you, it's very surface like. You're like, nah, you know, you can generally probably find another way. But for people who like are dealing with a lot of emotional stuff like that, it gets to the point where, you know, they are not in the relationship for the benefits of the relationship. It's more so like this is a lifeline now. Yeah. You know, and that I think that I've seen so many relationships like that in my life prior to even just forming my own relationships or even intimate relationships that I was like, that is a slippery ass slope. Excuse my language. I don't know if you say ass, but I'm sorry, say it again.
It's fine.
But it gets to the point where it's like, relationships aren't fun and healthy if you guys aren't independent. Like, if you can't function alone, you know, and that's a whole nother level and topic of things, because there's other people who are like, I need to have my own everything before I even get in a relationship, right? There's some people like so far on that spectrum, they're like, I don't even need to talk to like that. You're not even serious until I'm owning my house. And it's like, whoa, bro, when is that gonna be? You know, or a girl that's like, I'm focused on my career. Okay, I get it, but say you're not done focused on your petite 45. That's when you plan on getting in the dating pool? That's not gonna be a fun swim. Like, I don't see you being like, whoo, where's my bikini? I don't see it happening. Like, generally at that age, you're like, you're stuck in your ways, you're comfortable. That's when you should be in a relationship. When you have ways that are like set in stone, you know, but once again, I feel like that just falls kind of back on like building up beauty. Because I think it's beautiful when people can adapt, when they can change. That it's beautiful when people are able to like realize I can get better. You know what I mean? Like, despite my age, right? Or just despite a circumstance, right? It's just like the older dude or the older like gal who's like, I'm gonna go back to college. Like, why can't I be in college? You know, and people are like, you're old, and you're like, and you know, my brain still works. You know, so let me take a shot at it. But it's really about just exercising all that kind of stuff. You know, and even thinking about it. A lot of people don't think about it. They just be walking around Earth like, yeah, today is Wednesday.
So it's like, for me, right? So I have friends that like have great things going on for them, right? Yeah. So it's like, you know, friends, family, you know what I'm saying? And then I have friends that are kind of suffering. Okay. You know, so it's like, like, got a phone call from a friend, right? And he's just kind of down in the dumps, you know? Not like emotionally? Not like depressed, like that level yet, but he just kind of feels like he's not going anywhere right now. And so,
Hopelessness?
yeah,
Hopelessness. Okay.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, I don't know what to do. Been working all my life basically, and just paying bills, and tried to do school, didn't finish it. You know, like I don't know, school go back, good for me to go back to. I'm just doing this job but now. Want to do my music stuff, but don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like can't even try to progress with the stuff if I'm still suffering with the bills right now because I can't put the money into it like I want to. And then the thing is, he has like an opportunity to move somewhere with a family member.
Oh.
And like the thing is, but he's just like, well, if I go there, I'm still gonna be doing the same job. So I'm not. And the thing is, even like the living expenses are cheaper, the pay is cheaper too. So
True.
I'm still not gonna do anything. And then I'm just telling him like, you need to figure something out because honestly, everybody take risks to get to where they are or still going.
For sure.
Because I have a cousin who didn't even go to school after high school, but he has a great job right now.
Nice.
And so the thing is, but he has a cap right now. So he's just like, so he wants to go back just to get his associates just so he can get a better pay. So that makes sense. So I also have another cousin who does similar work as him, but because he had a bachelor's degree, just period, no matter what it was in, his pay is higher.
Yeah.
And that makes the difference.
Yeah, totally.
And so I was just like telling them, and then the one that's getting that higher pay, his was like a meeting, like somebody he just like met through his family was like, oh, this guy works at this place, and then he got the job at the place, and then now he's just like moving up in the job.
Nice.
Because the thing is, it's something, but they both found something that they are both passionate about.
Oh, that's cool.
So they like to talk.
Nice.
So
Nice.
so they're making money doing things they enjoy.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's like you don't have like everybody has to take a risk because you don't know where you're gonna go.
You don't.
Because the thing is, when I was in school, I was there for 6 years, right?
Yeah, me too.
Before I finished off,
5, but same thing.
to go on into my last year,
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing this study called Ayurveda, which is the Indian study of the mind, body, and the soul. Because by that time, I was into like alternative health. And so I was looking into a school up in the Bay. But it was like having to figure out because it wasn't like you got like financial aid for it or anything like that. So I would have to like get a job at a place and all that stuff, whatever. But I was like, nah, I can figure it out. So I was like thinking about doing that. But then I ended up meeting a black chiropractor in Decatur, Georgia. And so we was on the same wavelength about life. And shit, just like that, and
that's cool.
And that was like, and then I'm just like, what is chiropractic? Like, we didn't grow up learning about that.
No.
And so I was like, so that's why it was like interesting, like, and then he was just like, yeah, like I do the same 4 years as MDs, but I work my own shit, my own job after, and that makes a difference. He actually got his MD, in orthopedic, I think. So he did that first, and he was like, I didn't like it. And then he went back to chiropractic. And he went back to school and did chiropractic and got his degree and got his doctorate in it. And now he loves what he does.
Yeah, that's super cool.
And so like he's like one of the lead black doctors in the American Black Chiropractic Association.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's like that passion. You know what I'm saying? You're taking risk, but you have to at least try.
No, true.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know people that are out of state and stuff, whatever, and they're doing what they have to, making the sacrifice that they need to just to get what they want. And like, I was like telling them like, bro, nobody plans none of this stuff.
Nothing in life.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit just happens.
True. Yeah. And you know too, I've recently talking to a few business colleagues, and we just have this thing about being grateful for the adversities, you know, and at first it was for sure like a mind shift because I was like, what, why, you know, why am I grateful for this stuff? But it had to be explained to me that if you didn't have adversities in life, who would you help? You know what I mean? Who would you be able to touch? Who would you be able to uplift? Who would you be able to do anything for as far as influencing if everything in your life was a piece of cake?
Yeah, that's true.
And a red carpet walk. And I had to think like, okay, and I like I said, being in a place where I felt like one person was so in control of my self-image, and then taking that control back, it was like, no, it's like embedded in me now when I see that happening to be like, no, baby girl, no, you gotta. And what's so crazy to me now, that just thinking about it, I just had this epiphany. Like, I don't see this happen with a lot of men, and I think I don't know if maybe I don't converse with a lot of men to receive that like anecdote back, you know, to hear those stories or whatever. But I don't see it happen with a lot of men. Like, I don't see a lot of men like outwardly portray that, you know, their self-esteem has been hurt, you know, and that, or even allowing someone else to control their self-esteem, right? I feel like I've experienced that more with women, you know, and especially in lieu of like a relationship. But I feel like nowadays we have this whole new thing where there's even women who are not in a relationship, but we have this false sensehood of esteem. Like, we have all of this, excuse my language, but fake ass shit that's telling us we're the shit, and it's like, you aren't. And what makes me mad is that I'm never the hater. Like, I'm never hurt. Like, I can never be hurt. I love seeing people win, but I hate seeing the winner who just cheated being like, yeah, I did that, now what? Let me see you do it. Like, you didn't do it. It wasn't really done. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you would never be able to teach someone or show someone how you did that because you didn't build it up. Like, what happened there, you know? And so I think that's something else too that I look at women too, and women for, you know. Same thing with men. Like, nowadays, we aren't really influenced by our elders. You know, I feel like there are not many people in my family who's an elder who I'm like, I would sit down and listen and take advice from them. And that, you know, no offense to my family, love the shit out of you guys. I really do. You know, but there's a lot of people that just like, you make day-to-day choices. I want to ask you, like, why? What did that do for you? How was that productive? How was that influential? What did you do? Why? Yeah. You know, and it's like we're perpetuating that cycle. You know what I mean? It's like, instead of breaking it, like our not, and I don't even feel like I'm there necessarily for this population sometimes, but I feel like there's a lot of younger women who are just kind of like, you know, you let that bitch handle it. You know what I mean? Like, she'll figure it out, you know, and all for himself kind of thing. Like, like that person got it, you know. And what are we here for? Like, as humans, like, we're not animals. Like, you know, as humans, we should want to progress and attain things to help other people progress and attain things, you know. So it's like, if that is not your goal, if that's not why you do certain things, and you're literally just doing it for yourself, you're not gonna get far. Like, you're gonna, you know. And my journey really, since I've like changed my mindset, I feel like I not that I have to, but like I want to touch so many women, you know what I mean, and influence them in whatever way I can, but mainly in building up their beauty, you know, and letting them know, like, you were born beautiful. Like, but you have to tap into that, just like you said. Like, if you don't go out on the faith of your own limb, and it's this like, there's no hope. Right. And then there's really no hope if you're waiting for someone else to go out on that limb and be like, yeah, girl, you beautiful. You know, to put that stamp on your envelope. Like, you gotta stamp your own damn envelope. Right, that's true. You know, so yeah.
All right, now go back to the adversity thing, right? Yeah. All right, so as I am now in my chiropractic program, I've learned that having adversities in my life, so many adversities in my life, has created me to be such a strong, you know, individual. The only issue I have is just like asking for help, because I have had that happen, and it was like, and it really faltered, and it caused issues with me in school for a minute, right? You know. So, but
I'm working on that too.
Yeah. So but the adversity helps because I can mentally get through a lot of shit. True. Because the thing is, a lot of students at my school are pampered and are soft, and they complain, and they want this and they want that, and then they get hurt easy. And then I'm just like, well, what's wrong with you people? Like, I'm with a clinician now, and the thing is, I have a pampered classmate who had it before, and he was just like, I don't like her. And I'm just like, And then I have her now, and I'm just like, I don't really understand why you didn't like her. Like, she kind of reminds me of my mom.
That's funny.
She acts pretty normal. I was like, she kind of acts human.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like,
like those kind of
I get it.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, it always depends on your perception of the person, because when you have somebody that's not used to people talking back to them, and somebody that's used to people always talking back to them, they're gonna think of that person in a different way.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then to go off of the self-esteem thing.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, grade school wise,
yeah,
I was smart. Basically, well, I was proud to be smart in elementary and middle school, like half middle school.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I got bullied a lot because I was like nice. And then I was also like shy, and I was like always like listening to other people's opinions about things, and my things I want to talk about or something. Like I would like always care about somebody else's opinions over mine. And then middle school came around, and somebody used to bully me for my homework. And so I decided to stop doing homework. Yeah.
You can't stop doing homework.
But
you should have took a sock of pennies to school. That's what you should have did.
I'm not a fighter.
Well, yeah. See, that's my bad default. It's the anger.
See, the thing is, I'm too afraid of my mom to fight.
I feel you. I probably should have been.
I was not a fighter. Me and Dion got into a glue fight in middle school.
Shut a glue fight. How does that happen? Okay,
glue.
no.
We threw glue. It was me, him, and another friend, and it was on accident.
You could tell that's some boy stuff. That's some boy stuff. Girls would never get into that kind of fight. First of all,
it wasn't it wasn't even a real fight. And I was like, and I got in trouble too. And I was both of us for the first time. And Dion hit it, and then the other guy hit it, and everybody got glue except for me. And then the teacher got hit with glue, and then that's when they like really erupted. And then so we got suspended. I was so scared.
Yeah.
I was scared of my mom. They was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, my mom. I'm scared of my mom. I was like, I don't care about anything else. I was like, I don't get in fights at school. Like, right. I don't do that.
That's a good mom. I can say that's a good mom. Yeah. Nowadays, when kids are not afraid of their parents, I want to put fear into them for their parents. For the parent. Like, the parent obviously does not see you're not scared. Yeah. Let me step in there for them. Because it bred a certain level of shame. You know what I mean? I don't feel like we need to walk through the world with no shame. Fuck that. That's dumb.
You gotta have a standard.
You get what I'm saying? Like, there should be we all should have parameters. We need to have morals. There need to be values. Like, people don't even think about that crap anymore. And some things, people just everything's everything, and nothing's off limits. Like, what? Like, come on now. You know what I mean? If we don't draw the line somewhere, we gonna be, regretting shit.
Because if it wasn't for my mom's standards, so somebody probably would have had some children already.
Right? Let's just talk about it. Like, let's just be really honest, because, granted, there are parents who do everything that they can do, and true, I do believe at the end of the day, the child is going to make their own decisions. Yeah. But there's still a level of yourself where you're like, well, my mom did teach me better. I just did not decide to do better.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Opposed to you literally being like, well, my mama ain't shit. Like, I don't. What was there left for me? For those people, I'm kind of like, God damn, parents. Okay, sheesh. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've had moments literally where my dad was like, "You're not going to make the same dumbass mistake I did. Like that. Yeah. You're not going to do it, and I'm about to tell you why." And it was one of those things like, okay, yeah, I don't want to. No need to repeat stupidity. Like, why? Why do that? Right. And so. That's a good thing to refer to your mom, for sure. My kids they're going to be afraid of me. They will.
Yeah, and but yeah, so then like self-esteem wise. So also the thing is, a lot of it comes from like family in general. Just first off. So my oldest brother, he was the pedestal, like the pinnacle of our family.
Gotcha.
And it was like, you gotta be like him.
Hence graduating from med school. Right.
I let him get it first.
It was offset.
I wouldn't, but the thing is, I wouldn't want to. I just don't want to do that to him. If I ever had a chance, if I ended up doing it, I probably wouldn't have did it. I probably would just wait it out.
Right.
Because I know I know it would mess up his self-esteem for the rest of his life. Because I know I can tell his children about it. I'm like, hey, so just so you guys know, I got my doctorate before your dad.
It would be a funny tale.
And I didn't even want it the whole time. Like
Right.
he wanted it all his life, and I
It's
didn't
so
even
funny.
care about it until like the last minute. And I was
Those-
like, oh, I'm
little
going to doctor
things,
school,
though.
guys. Like last minute, like right before I graduated, like, oh, okay.
Right. No, your brother. Right. Let him have it.
Yeah, he deserved it though. He deserved it. Let him get it. But yeah. So, but yeah, the self-esteem. So the thing. So the elder brother was the pedestal, right?
Yeah.
Then you had the other brother who kind of was like trying to live up to it, but he also kind of was doing his own thing in a way because he
Right.
kind of wanted to separate, but not
Mhm.
fully. And then there were times when he would do stuff. He had like a really big ego, so he was great at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So my mom, what she did was she didn't feed the ego, and so that's the reason why they kind of have a weird relationship because he wanted her to feed it, but he wasn't gonna do that. And so she's just like, well, I mean, you think you were great at everything.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna just be like, oh yeah, you're great, like 'cause you are. So the thing is like, so now what you should do is like push further, but
True.
it kind of didn't
Yeah.
work out the way that she kind of wanted to.
Ego is not terrible because it like your mom, it still has that foundation of confidence.
Yeah.
Which is good because then it makes you pursue things. But yeah, like you do have to be like, all right, ego, sit your ass down. You know what I mean? Let me buckle down and figure some things out because I feel like it only hinders you when you don't feel like you need to be a learner anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at that point, you're stagnating yourself because you're gonna be a learner till the day you die. You'll never know everything.
Yeah.
Just point blank.
And then it didn't also help because the school he was at in high school, it was a silly for him.
Okay.
Because he was too smart for it.
Right. He needed more challenge.
And that's what caused an issue. So now he thought he was the smartest one there. Because he was.
I would say probably was.
Yeah, so now that boosts his ego so much more.
Yeah. You're right. I feel like that's like the pretty girl who's been told she's pretty her whole life and then she gets into modeling.
Oh, right. And then, yeah.
And then she doesn't want to model because she sees there's like thousands of other really pretty ass girls. So it's like, okay, now what's your skill?
You're just average.
You're just average now. Now it's like, okay, but you're pretty, but what can you do with
Right,
it? Are you doing anything with it? Right? And that's when it gets like, I feel like once again, you need something else to push you further. But that's what I mean when I'm saying like your self-esteem can't be built on compliments.
Right.
Or then you're gonna be like, okay, if someone doesn't compliment me, like I can't, well, I'm not doing anything, you know, and you'll be looking for it and wanting it.
Yeah.
And then you'll look up and be like, oh, so all I did was take a lot of Instagram pictures. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Right,
yeah, that's it. Right. Unfortunately, right? And yeah, so I mean, I definitely agree though with you, with this esteem starting from home.
Yeah. And then for me, so I kind of just like, I kind of didn't give myself much standards. Like I didn't really expect much out of myself because I didn't want to piss off my mom.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to be like, cause she was shooting my brother down, and I'm just like, I don't
like,
want to be shot down. Right. I was like, I ain't gonna be doing shit. Cause if I don't do nothing, you can't shoot nothing down.
Right. I'm not about to get in trouble because I'm staying above the standard, but you ain't about to shoot me down.
Just float across.
I feel it.
And so like that's basically how it was for real, basically going throughout like high school and stuff. I just was like average. Average. But then my social life got better.
Yeah.
So I became more sociable.
Yeah.
And then in college came around and then it was like I eventually got more into, you know, my self-love. You know what I'm saying? Because I had some people that I was with that I had to break away from because they weren't doing me any good.
Okay.
So I had to go solo for at least like a month or two in college. And then I ended up getting
like no friends?
I wasn't, because the people I was with, no, my friends, the friends I was with at the time, I left them. And then so like a month or two, I went without like with nobody.
Gotcha.
I would like go around by myself. That's how it was.
Right.
Until I eventually got cool with some people and we was all, on the same page and stuff. So I eventually grew that way. And then just like so much more people I ended up meeting and talking to and learned a lot from, whatever. And then so the girl I dated in college, it was a 3-year relationship.
Got you.
And like it really was like so. It was like a really, really great relationship that I had.
Yeah.
And so it really like built my self-esteem up so much. because I was just like so like in the point where I just didn't really care about any, like impressing other people, you know? Because it's like you got this person here that's really doing everything for you.
I feel like everyone needs to experience that relationship. And what's so crazy is I experienced, like, it was the same toxic relationship. It was still the same thing. Like, it was, okay, if I'm, getting validated by one person, like, I don't need to fight for anyone's validation. That's not important to me. I literally remember like a whole year of college, like, not wearing anything but pajamas and sweats. Like, literally, people would ask me, like, do you have clothes? And I'm like, yeah. But what am I getting dressed for? Coming to class and going home. Like, and they never understood. I remember having a girl literally tell me, like, why are you always dressing like a boy? Like, literally say it to me. And I was just kind of like, I'm the one with the whole boyfriend. You're telling me about dressing like a boy. You're single as a damn dollar bill, girl. Like, so it's truly one of those things where I feel like it's healthy to come in contact with that one person where you're like, wow, like, I don't have to do a lot for you. And that, I feel like, is a wake-up call where you're like, oh, I've just been doing so much thinking I need to adhere to this standard, and then you're like, damn that standard, I'm going to do this whenever I want to. If I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, you know? And so, yeah, I think that's good for everyone to have. For their esteem, and just for a reality check. Like, I tell people all the time, if that person wants to talk to you, wants to be with you, you shouldn't have to do a lot.
Right.
Because, and even in reality, like, that you can't do that every day. You know what I mean? I had a coworker literally tell me he's never seen his girlfriend without makeup, and I'm in my mind I try not to put that face on when he said it to me, but in my mind, I was like,
that's weird.
So how does she do it? I need to know. I want to know. How do you do it? Do you wake up before he gets up? Who stays up late? Do you stay up late? If you do, does she not wipe it off before she goes to bed? What does she do? Is she sleeping in it? Are you just thinking it's makeup?
I ain't gonna lie, I did date a girl for some months who left it on.
Why she was asleep?
Yeah.
Was it like, I'm just sleepy, I don't want to take it off, or was she literally like, you're not?
Anytime I was with her at night, like late at night, stayed over, or she's over, whatever it was. I've never seen her take it off ever. Yeah,
and look, now from a man's standpoint, I'm pretty sure you're just like, who cares, whatever. From a woman's standpoint, I'm worried. Right. I'm worried. I want to ask you why. Because my other thing is, if we're talking science, let's two ends of the spectrum. Science and facts. Baby girl, your skin needs to breathe, damn it. Okay? It just needs to breathe. On the other side, it's like, why are you afraid to reveal yourself?
I know. And she was very pretty.
Right.
I didn't understand why she wore it.
Right. I bet this girlfriend's really pretty too. But it's a whole, once again, it starts back at the home. Who knows? And, if some things are really just influence too, like you could have had a mom who's been like, you going out there like that, girl?
It's actually a lot of factors for real. So at Tuskegee, right?
Yeah.
When I decided to grow my hair out, you know what I'm saying? So everybody went natural at the same time.
Yeah, that's super dope.
It was weird, right?
That's super dope.
Like, all right, so you remember when Lupe Fiasco started to get growing his hair out and stuff, whatever. And then at the same time he grew his hair out, other artists started growing theirs out at the same time.
Gotcha.
Jay-Z had a fro. Trey Songz had a fro.
Right. That's when it
was at the same time. Everybody had a fro, and then I had mine, so I started to grow it.
Yes.
So,
pay attention to that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then
it's just like when Odell Beckham did the stupid blonde at the top. I had to ask my husband. I was like, so, and then when I seen Odell Beckham, I'm like, oh, this is why every freaking kid around in anywhere has this freaking, and I'm just gonna be like, why are you guys all gonna look the same? All you guys are starting to look the same. And I was like, what are they doing? Oh, Odell Beckham.
Right.
Got it.
But yeah, so then around that same time, like it was like, people it was like one more roommates because he had started his locks before mine. A few months before I actually got mine twisted.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and then some other people were doing it too, and it was like people were just starting it too. I know from like high school was doing it, like started their locks out and stuff, and I was like, damn, bro, like you gonna do your hair too, like all right, like that's cool, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and then so then actually, so what happened was all the women went natural too. So they either chopped.
I'm sorry, I'm team natural.
Oh,
I'm not, and it's not like I'm not against non-natural, so I don't want non-natural females to be like, whatever. But anytime I find natural women, I just be like, come here, sister. But anyways, that's.
But yeah, so they either chopped,
Yeah.
or they just went straight to the natural.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just like, it was just crazy,
Okay.
like seeing it. And I was just like, it was so beautiful. Because, you know, I'm at a school with all black people, so all I see is black women. And so the black women went natural, I went natural. It was just like a great experience. And then the girl I was dating,
It's like a whole culture just.
she had a fro when she came in, and then she eventually grew locks.
Nice.
So, you know, it's a great thing.
Yes, it is. I definitely think so.
And then and then it's just like, and then even like now you can see so many images of natural black women nowadays.
You do.
You see them in movies more. You see them in commercials more.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they're mixed, they're still gonna have natural hair.
Yeah, because
They won't go straight. They'll go curly or something like that, whatever. Yeah.
Yes. You know, it's very much so becoming mainstream now, and it's awesome because you know, once again, like even when women don't wear their natural hair, it's for many fucking reasons. Like, no, but I would not sit here and say like you don't love yourself if you're not wearing your natural hair, right? Now, when you say certain things, when I hear women say like, "Oh, I ain't never going out with my hair not straight," you gotta ask yourself why. I'm not gonna tell you why. That's not my place.
Right.
You know what I mean? After like studying therapy and certain things, I've realized like you can't make people realize things. They have to come to their own realizations. Or it's not valuable.
Right.
You know? So it's like I've never been that person to be like, girl, you got that weave, you don't love yourself. That is like too clear cut and very far-fetched, you know? But I definitely think that we have to ask ourselves, like, what does it mean when I'm not comfortable in that state? You know? And I'm gonna be very honest. I noticed it very late as soon as I got my dreads. Because one, I guess maybe just because I wore my hair straight all the time. All the time. That's all I really did. Wore my hair straight. Sometimes I did braids. So it was definitely a change for me, but every single person, once they like seen me or found out I had dreads, they were just kind of like, one was why? Like, why would you do that to your hair? That was like the number one question. And it rubbed me wrong. It just rubbed me the wrong way because it was, in my mind, I'm thinking like, this is a hairstyle that's natural to our culture. So why would I not? Is the real question. That's the real question. You know, and then honestly, it was one of those things like, the same reason you decided to wear stupid looking pants today, because you wanted to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just leave it there. Me personally, I never ask someone why they made a decision. Like, I don't, because once again, that's for you to make those realizations. I'm not going to make you, like, you don't need to reflect to me. You need to reflect to yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think when I just seen a shift in everything, like, even girls would be like, but like, when you going to cut it? Who said that? When did I bring up cutting it? Why would I be cutting it? Who told you that?
I get those too.
You know? And then from also with men, too. It was like certain men didn't even hit on me. Like it was so interesting to me. Like I even had a man like say it to me one day, like, I don't think anybody could approach you the wrong way. And I had to be like, sure, somebody could approach me the wrong way. Like, of course, you know what I mean? I did the bullshit just like any other regular single female, right? But it was more so a thing where I kind of was like, we have these stories we tell ourselves in our mind, like, and we'll live to them like they're reality. And no, that's not fucking reality. Like that, my dreads be nothing except for that my hair is straight. Period. Yeah, you know what I mean? And anything else you assume after that, that's an assumption. Like, you would have to ask me or start a conversation with me to know that, you know? And I think like it's the dynamic is very interesting, but it also made me like prove to myself like I love myself in my natural state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no, I'm not cutting them. Sorry. You know, despite your salty little face, you know. But I think it made other people like just kind of realize like, oh, you're accepting yourself exactly how you are, you know. And I'm like, yeah. But it's interesting how those little things can like immediately show you like what your self-esteem is, you know what I mean? And then kind of just build it up as well. But I still love when I see all black women that are natural. I just love it because it's the same thing like, you know, for lack of better terms, it's the same thing like when I hear, you know, women saying the word bitch. Like, yes, take that word back. Like that, for honestly, when women get hurt, now I'm not saying that men need to run around and be like, yeah, bitch, no, bitch.
Right.
No, don't do that still. It's still disrespectful. But it's the same, like how we took back the word nigga.
Yeah.
You're never gonna be able to say that to me and hurt my feelings. Now, do I know that you're a disrespectful, blatant bigot? Yes, you are. If you say it, you are. That's what you are. But am I going to get my feelings hurt? No. It doesn't do anything to me. You know what I mean? And that's one of the that's how I feel with the natural hair. You know what I mean? Like let's take our shit back. They got Afro wigs. People trying to be like us all day long. You know what I mean? So we gotta be like, we happy to be us too. You know, that's how I feel.
What was I about to talk about? Okay, we can. Alright, self-esteem. Alright, so I guess so. Continue on about the book I was reading. The book that got
What's the name of it?
into the mind state that I am. It's called The Alchemist. Have you heard of it? Have you read it?
Of course I've heard of it. I've read a little bit. I haven't but the little bit I did read, I was like it was one of those books where it was like, it was intriguing me, but also upsetting me as I was reading more because I was like, you're about to mind fuck me. Like I could, you know, where it's like one of those things where you're like, shut up. It was one of those kind of things, and I'm like, you know, your whole brain just turns around real fast. So yeah.
Yeah, my roommate gave it to me, and so he didn't borrow it because, you know, short read.
Yeah.
But just like the thing is, it's like when you think about it, because the thing is, I had to do a certain thing like he did. I mean, you didn't have to the part, but it's just like a part. There was a moment in the book where he was happy with a woman, and then she was just like, but his main goal wasn't. He didn't reach it yet.
Okay. With the women or just in life?
No. So where he was in life was great.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was in love with the woman, but he wasn't where he wanted to be because he was his journey was a certain thing. He didn't get there yet, and so the woman was like, "You need to go and finish your journey and then come back to me."
Good woman.
Exactly, because she was like, I mean, because I don't want you to just grow old and then regret it.
Yeah, totally.
And so I had to do that myself because the relationship I was in, I had to leave because I was like, I'm going back to California.
Okay, this person was from Alabama.
Yeah, she was from Detroit actually.
Gotcha.
But this is when I was dating, and but anyway, but she also, because the first she was like willing to come with me.
Okay.
And she was like, all right, when I'm done, I'll come out there. I'll find grass to go to out there. All right, and it was gonna work out. But then she had the depression kicked in, and then she was just like, I don't want to go to California. So then when she said that, I was just like, well, there's no hope. Like, if you're not giving me anything to go off of, to feed off of, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing for me to do. Yeah. Like, I can't help it. And so I had to make that sacrifice and was like, all right, well, I'm going to go do what I'm going to do. Because I already made up my mind to go back. Oh, gotcha. I already got into Cairo school by that time.
Okay.
Once I had met him, whatever, I basically just worked hard to fuck, just like figuring out, talking to people and stuff, and figuring out what school I was able to get into my GPA and stuff. And they worked with me because I had certain classes. So the GPAs they were taking had me at a certain level to where I was able to get into a certain program they had.
Nice.
So it worked out, and so everything was going smoothly. It was like just like in The Alchemist, read the signs and take advantage. So there were signs. Carol comes in, talks to me, dope, boom, boom, boom. Then I go to talk to the school. The school's like, oh, we got you. GPA is good. Send me your transcript. Right below personal statement. Because we already like know your story. Just type what you told us.
Mm-hmm.
Done. Then they was like, oh, well, and then the cover I met, that was one of my recommendations.
Nice.
Because it had to be a cover. So that was one of my recommendations. Like my other one was the researcher slash supervisor slash mentor I had the whole time I was there.
Mm.
And so she did it too, and she was like, oh well, don't put all your eggs in the one basket.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, okay. But like I didn't take any grad school because like you don't even have to take any tests for that school, for cover school. And like you're getting a doctorate, you don't have to take no MCAT, you don't have to take no GRE, or you don't have to take no LSAT, nothing.
Okay, that's cool.
Right?
Yeah, pretty cool.
But you gotta get this motherfucker though.
Yeah. Right, that part.
That's because once you get in, they got you. And now you're like, you gotta get through.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. But you got the passion for it, you know, you got it. But
no, totally, yeah.
So then after that, then they was like, oh, there's a fee for the application. Somebody waived it. Boom, in.
Nice.
So now they're like, okay, we need to do an interview. They were like, but you gotta come out here for the interview. And I'm just like, I'm still in Alabama. I can't come out there. So I then drove the phone. Worked out great. Went through smoothly.
Yeah.
They told me like right after the interview was over, it was like, oh man, welcome to SCU. Done.
Nice.
And then there was like a fee I had to pay to save my seat. And then so then the guy, the counselor I was talking to the whole time, he was just like, yeah, just he was like, if you just have a letter, you know what I'm saying, explain your situation, and I can send it to the guy and you can see if you can see if you can waive it. So I was like, all right, cool, let's see if this works.
Yeah.
So he said that what happened, he went to the guy that makes the decision. So he talks to him, and then the guy's like talking to the counselor, and he's just like, is this young man SU material? And then he was like, yeah. And then they was like, all right. He didn't even read the letter. He was just like, all right.
It's for sure sometimes about who you know.
And just like having, because the thing is, like I said, the guy, me and the counselor have been talking this whole time, so he already like has that, like he already like knows me to a level, and he's just like, yeah, he's good for this school basically in a way. Like,
right, he felt comfortable vouching for it.
Exactly. So it worked out. He's like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Now you're good.
Yeah.
And then so now I just have to wait to get in. I mean to start, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just moved and stuff, whatever. And then so as I was going through all this stuff, I started like, so I always did like acting and stuff. So I was just dabbling in plays, and that just happened because it was I used to make, I still kind of do, but I make African pattern bow ties.
Nice.
And so I was gonna go to a fashion show, put them in there.
Yeah.
And then so, but the thing is, they didn't match up with the outfits that they had, and so I ended up modeling for one of my friends. So the guy who threw the fashion show, he had hit me up later and was like, hey, how you like, are you good with like production and stuff? And I was like, all right, I produce some events and stuff at school.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, all right, I'm doing a stage play in Hollywood. You wanna help me produce it?
Nice.
So I've done like 4 plays with them.
Cool.
And then I just did another play, but this with the assistant director from those plays. She became the director, and then I got hired as the assistant director. So this is my first time being an assistant director for this play. So it's 5 now in my belt. And then the production, my production labor company came from just like somebody just like kind of like have it, because like I was helping them with some when they were a artist manager basically, like a talent manager, and I helped her freely with an event. And then she was just like, you did everything, you didn't complain, nothing, you didn't really care, you did it for free. And then she was just like, man, she found all these people that she was hiring. She was like, if you can have a team like that, I'll hire you, all y'all, pay y'all. Yeah. And then so my first time doing a group event, I had a team ready. But and we didn't have no like name, logo, nothing yet. I mean, it was free, but it was her first time doing her own showcase. So I was all right, cool, let's invest.
Yeah.
We got to put in this free work, but we got to make it look good. So I knew who I was doing it with. My brother was one of them, and then my director was one of them, and then one of my friends. So it was 4 of us, and so I was like telling her like, well, it'll be lighter on your shoulder because you'll have me and my people.
Yeah.
Because all you gotta do is rely on me, and I'll make sure my people is good.
Mm-hmm.
So any positions and stuff, or any issues with them, I'm responsible for it.
Right.
So that was basically kind of like sparked it more and more. And then I did another one where me and just my brother. That was the first time he actually got paid for a gig. And so then like the name came up. She was just like, you need to start working on it now.
Yeah. Like
get a name, get a logo, get everything. And she was just helping me with everything, like how to spark it up and everything. And then so it just like was just moving. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, yeah. She was like, I have a whole. Instagram, and I don't even like have like any like legalization on this name.
Right.
And she was just like, somebody pushed me to do this, and then I just been doing it, and then because IG is basically like saying exactly what you've been doing.
No, true.
It's just like, oh well,
it's
my
like a whole brand marketing platform.
Exactly.
Like an entire platform.
And so if you utilize it for that, you're gonna do good.
No, honestly, it's so many people in there, and I'm like, if you want to follow me, you better monetize that shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for likes, your best bet is to monetize it. Like if you're just on there trying to get the clout, you're wasting your damn time. You're wasting your time. And at this point, it's totally like an electronic newspaper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like if you're not posting your ads in that thing every time the Sunday paper hit people's doorstep, what are you doing? You know? So that was, she's totally right. Like totally.
Yeah. So that was the spark. I started it off. Najee Production.
Yeah.
So anyways, twins. So, but yeah, so that kind of was like, all right, you know, and then after that, then the talk show was just sparked off of me kind of like doing talking to students at a fair that I was like working and helping and talking about my school and stuff, whatever. And then I was just like, man, because I did a lot of presentations with my research I did in undergrad. And so I was like, man, I kind of miss talking to people.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, yeah, man, you should do that, you know. Like somebody was inviting me on a podcast and stuff. And then it was gonna be later on though, so I was like, yeah, but I was kind of like, it was just kind of like, cause I already had basically like had my first child, so I knew how things worked. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start it.
Yeah.
I was like, boom, take the risk, just do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, so I just like started this one, the Najee Talks, and then I was like, you know what, I don't just want to do it on myself and what I want to talk about. I have an umbrella, but I want to have other people talk about what they care about. And then if it's like, because so many people do things.
Yeah.
They have businesses, they got books or whatever. Like I got a friend who has a clothing line and a book out.
That's awesome.
Right. And so the thing is like, those are the people that I want on this show. Yeah. And then the thing is they have a lot of stuff to talk about. So all I need to do is just find something that they have the passion for specifically. Like, hey, you coming in and talking about this. Because the thing is, everybody has that journey. And they're like, man, like, and the
everybody
thing is,
got something to share.
Exactly.
Totally.
And it makes it more entertaining because people can sense the passion in the conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely. When there's something, because I know when my passion's not there. So yes, I definitely agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, you don't want nobody talking about nothing they don't care about.
No, especially just when you're like, you know, having like, you're just interpersonal communication, like you're just, you know, networking and socializing. You know what I mean? You have the most fun doing that when you're talking about something that you're passionate about. And so yeah. And you know, then again too, there's a lot of people who are passionate about stuff. So it's like with having those people who are passionate, it makes you want to be like, let's have a conversation, you know, like let's piggyback off one another. Let's bounce ideas with one another. Yeah. But I definitely feel like too that's it just shows like where your mind is. Because some people just sit around and talk about people all day. You know what I mean? And I truly have to tell those type of people like I don't care enough. Like I just don't. What someone else is doing in their life, like I don't care to keep tabs on it unless they're like sharing with me their celebratory moments, right? Small victories. Or even I'm down to talk about trials and tribulations. You can come to me with that stuff too. But as far as it's like discussing someone else's inner workings and like what they have going on, what they ain't got going on, you know what I mean?
Those are those acidic people. Like I've had experiences with those type. I've had experiences with people that, like I was trying to put them on game for my labor company, and they didn't want to do it, but they didn't want to lie to me about wanting to do it because they thought I wouldn't help them with what they have going on. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And then the thing is, it was like so the person had their own thing, business, and the thing is, I was part of it. I was helping. And then so I was starting mine, and the person that was helping, that sparked mine, she had hers. Okay. But the thing is, everything we did was different. Because she had to tell it, right? Okay. I had to labor for the events, and then he had the events. Gotcha. So, you know, we can work together. Yeah. And we were trying to tell him that, and he was just like, I feel like you're stepping on my toes. Me. I'm like, how?
But I'm not throwing the event.
like I'm like nobody's doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like we're all
Like
in a
nobody's
different
doing
segment.
yeah, we're all in our own lane, and the best thing to do is to do that together, and then we can just monetize off of that better.
No, for sure, because then it's like we're literally just working the cycle and keeping the money going.
And the issue is you got people that are just too emotional about things, and then they think too much about certain things, and then that messes things up.
Yeah.
Because now you have this person who's been friends with this other person, and then because of I guess whatever situation was going on with me, now they have an issue, and then then the friendship gets ruined off of nonsense.
Yeah. But then I don't know. Me and Tana have brought this up a little while ago too. We had just talked about how it's, and I'm working on this too in my personal life with working on friendships when they aren't going a certain way.
Yeah.
I think innately we do this in intimate relationships, but when it comes to friendships, we'll just be like, okay, fine, I don't need you. And I think that it's a tragedy. Definitely of course I see a lot of women do this. It's like an epidemic with women, and maybe just because it's a lot of us out there, so we feel like we just find another friend, right? I don't know what it is, I don't know. But it is one of those things, where it's like, if that friendship is something that you truly see value in, where did that value go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it sometimes, for sure, you gotta let things go. That person was probably toxic from the beginning. You just didn't see it. Those are those instances, right? But then sometimes you just have instances where people are, like you said, they're just too in their head about things instead of thinking with their heart. You're thinking with your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? About a friendship. And sometimes that can taint a friendship.
Right.
And you'll just end up being stubborn. You just end up being I don't need to make the first move. They need to make the first move. That's the wrong move. That is ultimately you've thrown a relationship away already.
So remember I was saying about those friends that I got away from freshman year. So we ended up getting cool again because we had joined a club together or whatever that second year. And so what happened was, we were at the club. I was riding with him.
Mm-hmm.
Me and it was just maybe four of us or whatever it is. And so me and one of the guys got left by the others.
It needs to be special circumstances.
And so the thing
was
is,
the club on fire? Why?
So we finally figured out that the situation was that the dude was dancing on the girl, and a guy bumped into him and made him put his drink on the girl he was dancing with.
Okay.
And then he got about to fight the guy just because of it. And so instead of doing that, instead of getting into the fight, they just left. So I mean, I guess to avoid the situation, but you could just wait it outside, or at least told us that you were leaving.
Yeah, you big mad.
So now I'm just why are you gonna leave us?
No,
it's not like you can just walk. Some clubs we could walk to the school from there, but that was one of the ones you really couldn't just walk to the school from.
Yeah, no.
And so luckily it was a car full of girls, and we just luckily was able to lock on with them and just get to campus.
That was nice.
Right, because I don't know what we would have did if it was for that.
I'm for them. No, you're just leaving me high and dry.
And so then after that, so we lived in the same dorm.
Mm-hmm.
I was a floor above him.
Okay.
And we spent maybe the whole week. I didn't talk to him.
Yeah.
And then so he finally was he hit me on Facebook though, Facebook Messenger, and it was
You can just come upstairs.
he was like, "Hey bro, you good?" He said, "My bad. You good?" And
this is the text I feel like I should have got that night. That was an in the moment that night.
Why do you wait so long to send?
At this point, I don't even want you don't. Okay, no.
And then he tried to explain the situation. I'm just what?
Yeah.
And I'm just this is. You could at least talk to me in person about it.
Yeah.
And then I think the only time that he ended up saying something, it was only because we just so happened to be near each other on the staircase. And then he was just we good? And I'm just Like, I guess.
Like, I'm not about to fight you, but we don't need to voluntarily spend our time with one another.
Yeah, man. I was like, yo, this is it. I was like, definitely.
Once again,
cut them off.
People don't be having parameters. Like there needs to, certain stuff should just be off fucking limits. Like leaving a friend, like and true, I don't know the circumstance, but I think that's one of those things. Like I don't care how many times I've heard it. Every time I'm just like, what? Like who does stuff like that? Like who?
Right.
And I've heard it so many times, even when I was in college, and I was like, you got left?
Right.
So that's why you're here drunk in the corner? That fucking sucks. Like, I hope those people who left you, you leave them now. Now it's your turn. It's your turn to leave them because it's but we're all out here like everybody for themselves kind of thing. Nobody understands consideration. Yeah. Nobody thinks about the other person anymore. It's just like, if you ain't got it, okay, cool, that's your situation. You'll figure it out.
So I think what makes it easier for me is I kind of grew up, like never keeping the same friends because I went to a different school.
Okay.
Like elementary, middle to high, and then we had a few people from that went to ski or whatever. But for the most time, you don't really keep the same friend. I wasn't used to keeping friends.
The only friend I've kept through school is Tom. She's the only person.
It's rare to keep friends, honestly.
Very rare.
Like, it's weird because I have friends still from, like, high school.
And even when we think about that, like, whoa, okay, we've been out of that thing for, like, 9 years.
Right.
Right, and then it makes you think, like, okay. But it's true. Like, nowadays, it's kind of one of those things where, and I used to, in college, and people used to hate me, but I was just very honest. Like, you're not my friend. You're a circumstantial associate. Like, let's not do that. Like, because this is, because in my mind, I'm going to flip a switch. I'm going into friend mode. So then when you start doing stupid shit, I'm going to call you out on it. And I don't want you to look at me weird because I'm your friend.
Right.
And so I have that card to pull. But, it'll be that thing where it's like, I always feel like people were only trying to be my friend for the convenience. Like, okay, I like to party, I like to go out. Reason number one, right? And honestly, girls will be your friend just because, and you women out there can disagree, whatever, I don't care. You're probably that friend. But you have friends that just want to go out with you because you're dude bait. Period.
That's a good point.
Right? And it'll be girls who are friends and they don't even know you guys are only friends because all you guys are dude bait. Like if one girl in that whole group decided like she didn't like going out anymore, the group's disbanded. Like everyone's gonna be perplexed and like completely bewildered as to why she does not want to go out anymore. And you're gonna be a little mad.
Yeah.
And so certain friends will fall off because I didn't want to go out anymore. And I was like, okay, you're that friend. Now you didn't tell me specifically it was because I'm dude bait. I don't just fucking think I'm the shit. That's not the fucking situation. But I definitely feel like in certain circumstances, like females bounce off each other's energy, period. Right? It's just like when dudes used to joke about bringing the ugly friend to the fucking club. Nobody's saying you gotta have the ugly friend, but we all know we've been in a situation where we're like everybody's talking to someone and one friend is not talking to anybody and you're feeling guilty because of it. So you compensate, right? You're not trying to have a personal conversation. You're like, we're all in the conversation, right? And so it's just those little things, but it's like in college I used to have so many people to be like, Jody, like you're so cool, like I just want to be friends, like why don't you want to hang out? And I would just be like, okay, cool, I'll come over, chill, blah, blah, blah. And then I never talked to you and you never came over to chill, and then it'll be like, did you really want to be my damn friend? Did you really want to spend some quality time to get to know me? No, you didn't. No, you did not. You just wanted the drunk, going out Jody. That's all you wanted. And I'm not going to give you her just on the first date basis. You need to work out. You need to earn her, And I feel like that's the same thing with dudes. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we have relationships and friendships, and I truly think, like, you're a tool for something. Sometimes people are literally, like, using you. And honestly, a lot of times these people don't even fucking know they're doing it. You know what I mean? It's not like they've been necessarily taught how to have, a great friendships and how to be a good friend. Most of us had to learn that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I had to learn that. But it does come a time where you're just kind of like, Okay, so when I stopped doing certain stuff, I just didn't have certain friends.
Yeah.
Right? Or you just start noticing that, you know, we're all doing different things and we're still not finding the time to have to come back together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even a simple one like distance. You know what I mean? People will place distance on it. Truly, that's not something that we should allow to stop friendships.
It's really not. I have a lot of friends that I talk to, and they'd be like, I don't even have to. I have a cousin. I have friends like Ali. Ali was one that I still talk to a lot. He's in Philly. But anytime, I don't even have to talk to him for months, and then I call him on the phone. We just like chat like crazy for hours. And I had a roommate like that too. One of my old roommates, whatever, and we just go on like, so what's going on, man? Like we like fam, like
that's real friendship.
Exactly.
Though. You know what I mean? I remember when I first left LA, it would be so many people like, "Where you been? I've been looking for you." Where the fuck were you looking? Like, what do you mean? Like,
I've had people that's called me Hollywood before. They was just like, "I don't see you, bro, in Hollywood." I'm like, "Bro, I really go to you in college."
Right? Like, what do you mean? Like, you hear yourself like, "I literally be sitting in the house every fucking weekend." Like, how could that possibly? I'd be thinking like, how could you not find me? I went nowhere from here to Humboldt. Like, and even in Humboldt, like, if because at a point in time I didn't have social media. You know me, you know my sister. If you really was trying to hunt somebody down, I've had people hunt me down who I didn't want to get fucking hunt down by. Okay, so if you really wanted to hunt me down, you know what I mean? But it's one of those things where it's just surface like, and we're not even necessarily thinking about it. And that's why I said like literally I've only had one friend, Tana.
Yeah.
She's hunted me down, okay? There has been a moment in time where we didn't have any type of connection, and then out of nowhere, we just connect back again.
That's cool.
Now, mind you, it was multiple different circumstances, different reasons, even across the years, but we've still been friends. I've been friends with Tana since I was 7.
No, that's
like,
crazy.
even before high school. Like, you know what I mean? And so, I definitely have to say that, like, sometimes, you know, when people... You know, when we talk about the friendship thing, I'm like, that's friendship, same thing like intimate relationships. Like, you gotta work on them. You know what I mean? They aren't just like picture perfect. They aren't just super cookie cutter, you know? But same, like in intimate relationships, when that person's not trying to work it out or like doesn't see the relationship growing in any type of way, that's dead. Like, you know, and I'll see girls and sometimes even dudes and I'm like, your friends are shitty. Shitty.
Yeah.
And you are a good person, but I don't understand why you're putting up with it. Like, I don't understand why you're dealing with that, you know?
So, situation that happened with me, my last year, I didn't have a phone, so it was hard to communicate with me. And then after the relationship was over, so that first semester of that, we stopped talking and stuff, so, you know, cut off social media and stuff. You know, so it was like hard, because I was trying to stay in contact with her, but she told me it wouldn't help. So then when after the winter, you know, after we came back from the break, she had like started like adding me back on social media and stuff. So it was kind of hard because we had similar friends, and so I would see her. So it made it really hard, and then so it hurt me because the thing is, depression, that relationship's in the back burner. So she don't even realize that she's not even emotional to me anymore.
Oh, okay.
Like, or what she had, or what's gone.
Yeah.
So for me, I still had everything.
Okay.
So it hurt. So there was a time when a friend of mine, she had came down, she had graduated already, so she was in town. And so I saw my ex and I was drunk, so it was really emotional.
Yeah.
And so it was like, so I ran off, and then my friend, she had drove me home.
Yeah.
And then so you know, she had been a good friend and stuff, and then the next day I actually had to go out of town. Well, not out of town, I was in Ski actually. So I was actually like doing some stuff with these other people I started started hanging out with and stuff. And it was free. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, I had a whole day. We were building I think we were trying to build it was like a summer camp, or it was something that they were trying to build behind the house that somebody owned. One of the black people owned this key. So they let us use the land. They wanted us to help. We were helping build a building. So it was really dope. Right? And so the people I was with, it was just like pure enjoyment. Like, just being free, you know, away from everything and all that stuff. And then the thing is, what happened, like, so my friends didn't know, like, where I was. Nobody knew where I was. Because they didn't get in contact with me.
Sometimes it's kind of nice.
And so yeah, it was very nice.
Sometimes just falling
Yeah.
off the face of the earth is kind of nice.
Yeah, but what happened was you realize who your real friends are.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I got yelled at by my friends.
Why? Oh,
because
and
they
then,
didn't know where I
how dare you
was.
fall off the face
Because
of
the
earth.
last thing they remember seeing me was at a party, leaving after seeing my ex.
Okay, so then how long were you with the people building the house?
Whole day.
Oh, okay.
Nobody knew who I was.
Okay, gotcha.
And so then I was talking to them, and so they weren't even like, they were just like, we couldn't even enjoy the day because we were looking for you.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
spent the whole
Especially
day.
with no phone too. So
Exactly.
It's like, I can't even send you a text and be like, we
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
so
Like,
nobody-
we're just waiting for him to call back.
And
Okay.
then nobody knew the people I was with.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Because
Especially if you're with
during that
certain,
time,
like,
I
every
started
day.
hanging out with a lot more like kind of like how do I call them? Like outcasts.
Okay.
So the thing is like these are people that I'm not usually around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the thing, but I'm cool because I was like, because I mean it's not like I've never hung out with those people growing up.
Okay. Yeah.
It was just like kind of like how I've been growing, like the things I was all the things I joined and stuff like that. Going into throughout college, it was like different people
Gotcha.
compared to who I was with now.
Okay.
And the thing is, but I enjoyed it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They were just a pure loving like group of people,
Of course, of
no extras.
Yeah.
And but like I said, the thing is, you realize like who like your real friends are because people were really mad at me, and they were just like, we were really looking for you, and we didn't know what happened, and we don't know how to get in contact with you. We didn't know who you was with.
Yeah.
And so I was like apologizing like so many times to everybody, and but yeah, that's like the people that like really like gonna be like there for you.
No,
and
it's
like
true.
those are the people that I
Well,
still
it's
talk to nowadays.
Yeah.
Like we have like a group that we let me like talk to each other, and so like
Oh, that's dope.
man, yeah. So
You do find your true friends in college.
yeah, you find a lot in college.
You find a lot in college. You definitely do. I think you just find out the kind of friends you like in college. And I think the kind of everything. You find out a lot about yourself in college.
Mhm.
Because it's so much like, you know, let me just throw a dart at the wall wherever it lands,
Yeah.
kind of thing. You know, and then you kind of be like, you know, fuck that dart, you know, and then you keep going. But yeah, I feel like I learned a lot about myself in college. And you know, for that experience, but I think that age range, you know, if you're not exploratory, like, oh God help you, you know, because it's just like late 20s, early 30s. That's not the time you need to be exploratory.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you need to kind of know who you are, you know where you exactly where you're going, but an idea of yourself. You know,
Yeah, because even like so for me, right? When we talk, so like you know, like a lot of people like traveling nowadays. Like my oldest brother, he's traveling. He does a lot of traveling. See, the thing for me, he went to school he went to Berkeley.
Gotcha.
So the thing is, for me, well, first off, I went to Alabama for school, right? And then it was such diversity of people from different areas, so I learned about so many people. Then when I did research, I went to so many different conferences in different places. So I was able to just expand out and diversify my palette on things. You know?
Right.
I think one of
traveling.
my most favorite experience that I had, actually, I think DC, the second DC trip was dope. Cause this girl, Era went to King Drew. So she went to Howard, and she was a dancer in the band.
Nice.
And so she had invited me and one of my coworkers to a party they had. And so like that was just really dope. And then I had somebody else that went to King Drew, Kesley was there, and it's like so it was like she came to my presentation, and like she supported me and stuff like that. It was like a really great experience.
That sounds dope.
But then another one was Puerto Rico.
Cool.
Like so that one was a really beautiful trip.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of exploring on my own because I was the only undergrad, so a lot of the grad students were like grading papers and you know what I'm saying, we're doing their own stuff. Like they had a lot on their plate, so.
Yeah.
But it was just like, but the thing is, I did so much exploring and doing stuff, and then when I would have like breaks I couldn't come home on, my roommate, the really close friend of mine, he took me with his family.
Oh, nice.
So like Easter and like Thanksgiving and stuff, I would be in like either Georgia or one of the Carolinas or something like that with the family. And like so I was like used to like doing all the traveling, and I went to New Orleans my first Thanksgiving with a friend of mine.
Nice.
Me and I don't know if you know Bryce, but Bryce and that was like linking them. Yeah. Jamila's husband.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So me and Bryce went with a friend of ours that was from New Orleans. So we went to New Orleans our first Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So like I explored so much as it was. So the thing is, it's like, and then we was close to Florida too. We went to Florida a lot. It was like, so it wasn't. So coming back home, I was like, I didn't care as much about exploring because I was like, I already had a lot under my belt, and so I'm like, I kind of just want to do things here and invest in things here. Because the thing is, like me and my brother both get money from loans and stuff, but I'm investing mine into my future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so I'm like, I'd rather not expand it. I mean, spend the money on, something that's only gonna be remembered by whoever was there, or photos. You know what I'm saying? Because I can always do that. I'm gonna make enough money, and if I invest wisely, like you know what I'm saying, for all we know, the things I got going on now, these other businesses might actually become something on top of what I'm doing in school. So just throwing all that together, multiple incomes. And then we don't know what's gonna happen with the person I end up marrying or whatever. She might do her thing too. Yeah. So throw that together, and the thing is, I'd rather be with somebody that I'm gonna enjoy myself with. Totally. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just trying to force it or something like that, be with somebody that I'm gonna enjoy myself with. So I'd rather just do it all naturally when the time is ready. You know what I mean? That's what I'd rather do. When the time is right, it will present itself for sure. I truly believe that. But Jody, this was a really great discussion.
Yeah, I really enjoyed myself. One, just because I definitely remember at King June just having good conversations. You've always been a smart person and somebody I could have a conversation with. But it's really nice just being able to, one, come on your platform and just talk about a lot of different things and something I'm passionate about. So thank you for asking me to come on your show.
Yeah. Oh, so one more thing. So her and Dion, we all went to King Enterprise Middle School. Yes. And we both went to King Jewel High School.
Man,
that's rare. That's really rare that you have that many. That I have that many people that are still close with for so long.
Yeah. When I seen Dion a couple times at the gym, I'm like, dude, man, I still think back to us being back in Compton, being fucking knucklehead, all kinds of dumb shit. But it's truly one of those things where it's a blessing, because. Man, I also look back and think about how many people are not here. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just also too, like you said, so many people were they're just not doing it. There's so many people
I've seen people that I graduated with that was oh, you went to the reunion, and then there was dang, 10 years. And then there was I wish I had a plan 10 years ago. Instead of so now where I am, I don't like it.
Yeah. Or they just haven't grown. Yeah. Where you're I'm going to not sit down and have a conversation with you, dude. It's just not about to happen, Yeah. So yeah, I had a super fun time talking to you. Yes. It was awesome. Thank you. Cool. This was a really fun experience for me.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thank you.